We are going to gallop right into the month of June in this Flying Stars Feng Shui forecast, giving you tips on how to align your home for the best optimal results as you head into our summer season. So welcome, this is Lydia with the Feng Shui and Bazi Chinese Astrology channel. Often I like to read the charts of famous people because I think it helps us to better understand our own charts and our own lives. I also cover lots of topics around Feng Shui and home design. I've been a traditional Feng Shui practitioner and a master Chinese or Bazi or Four Pillars astrologer for over 20 years. If this is something that speaks to you, please subscribe, hit the bell, all the happy things so that you don't miss a single video. And you can also help support me here on the channel. I have a link down in the description for my PayPal donation. I appreciate all of that. And let's get into it. So you guys know by now that when we look at the forecast for the coming month, we got to stop and do a little review about what we've just experienced so that we learn, we grow, and we can compost it all into some takeaways, right? So how was your May? The forecast for this snaky month that we're coming out of was very different, certainly from April, which was so intense. All the flying stars were doubled, which meant all the energy in our home was magnified. A dragon month and a dragon year, everything magnified, right? And as we came into May, it was like, whoo, the intensity eased up. And also in Western astrology, we moved away from eclipse season, which tends to really dig stuff up. So I don't know about you, I was finding a lot of idle time and not as much work, which is kind of sad. I need work. We all need work. We need things to do. We need to feel purposeful. But that being said, it wasn't all a sad time. There were lots of happy things going on. I actually acquired 6 chickens, so I'm off on a chicken adventure now. And May has been a great time for you to network, to socialize, collaborate, and to flaunt your talents. Put in the description or in the comments below how your May was. Were you able to make some great connections? And what are your talents that you are helping to promote to get yourself out into the world? So as I consider this narrative, right? And you remember when I did the story time about the first 3 months of 2024? Well, I'm considering doing that part 2 of the next 3 months as we go from, as we're moving forward with this year and recognizing how these zodiac animals interact with each other and how that ultimately impacts our lives. And our life is not linear. It is not just you get up in the morning, you go, and life is just supposed to be what you had yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. No. The energy within ourselves, the energy in our world, the energy in our homes is a constant change and flux. And as we learn to live with this energy and dance with it instead of wrestling with it, well, we find greater ease in our lives. And indeed, things begin to flow. And I can tell you, I don't like when things aren't flowing, just like you. When things feel stuck, I sit and go, why are things stuck? What can I do to unstick them, right? And inevitably, I'll walk around my house and notice, aha, I found a little feng shui flaw here or there. And sometimes we can make those little adjustments. And that, my friends, is why the monthly flying stars are so important. So on the first day of June, which according to the Chinese calendar is June 5th, I have on my calendar, that is the day to go around and check my house. Make sure things are in alignment with the new energy coming in and making those subtle changes, just like acupuncture needles activate and motivate chi to flow in a certain way for your health benefit, right? All right. So the month of June is, when we look at it, it is yang metal sitting on top of the horse. And horse we know is yin fire with a little yin earth. And so for me, I really see a warrior, right? It could be a warrior, or it could be a hunter. It could be just somebody championing their way into life. I see us all on our horses, swords raised, that's the yang metal, and heading forward into the weeks ahead. And it seems to me, I don't know, this just came to me, somewhere in the tarot deck of the Knight of Swords or the Ace of Swords or a little of both, but both of these animals are G-O exclamation point, and maybe a few more exclamation points. All right. So this is one of the reasons why when I say that May was idle and I didn't have enough work, as a horse person, I need to be active. I like having lots to do. I like being challenged and engaged, and that is indeed the flavor of June. So let's just tap into this a little bit more, and then I'll take you through the Bagua so that you can understand the treatment to give your home for the month of June. Also, just to mention, and I'll put the link in the description for you, the blog is on my Kharma Khameleon website, so that if all of this kind of gets in one ear and falls out the other, like it tends to do for me, you can go and read all of this and get the full deets. So the horse is freedom loving, independent, resistant to commitment or being restrained in any way. I'm talking being in an airplane, being in an elevator, being in a meeting where you can't get up and leave, right? Being in any situation where you don't have agency to come and go as you need to. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah. It's also a call for June with yourself to find your adventure and be spontaneous and passionate, impulsive in all the best and healthy ways, of course. I'm not saying, go to the beach and eat as much, fudge or saltwater taffy as you can. Moderate yourself, right? But let it all be like a piñata broken loose. The dragon and the horse really are a pair as far as the forecast for June goes. This is a month to innovate, to create, to go wild, to set yourself free. Do you have any idea how much we imprison ourselves? We imprison ourselves with, oh, well, this is what we were grown up and told that we are supposed to be and do, right? And it takes us sometimes a lifetime to get the shackles of that off. As well-intended as our parents might have been, this is your life. Are you living it? June is permission, my friend, to turn off those voices and listen to the voice of your own heart, which is the only voice we should ever be listening to. The moment you go to someone for advice is the moment you recognize your own self-doubt. Serious up. Now, that being said, if you came to me and said, Lydia, I would love a tarot reading with you because I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling confused. I'm feeling lost. That's a great thing to do. If you said, Lydia, hey, I would love for you to do my Bazi Chinese astrology reading to give me greater insight in my life, to understand the full picture in a way that is objective and can give me a clear view. These are things I can do for you. And those are useful tools because ultimately you're listening to the voices of your guides and guardians. Those are definitely voices to bring into your mind and your heart, your soul, your everything. But the voices of your parents and your besties and all that, those are their stories. And it doesn't have anything to do with the journey you're on. Okay? So, as we are letting our braids loose, as we are setting ourselves free to do something different, to be radical, what does that look like for you? And don't sit there going, oh no, I can't. Don't be throwing those roadblocks up, my friend. Let all the stones in your pockets go. Let them go. That voice of doubt, I can't, I don't know, da-da-da-da. No, you do know. You absolutely know. And you have agency. You have choice, more so than you might realize. All right. So I'm saying if you've been longing for a tattoo, do you want to dip your hair in hot pink dye? Thought about it. Have you thought of changing your hair, changing your life, doing something radical? Go for it. Let your freak flag fly, my friends, and permission is granted. Permission is granted for you to bravely take a leap. I'll tell you a little fun story. So this really did happen in my life. I went off to start a new job, a job that I didn't really choose. Like this was like post-pandemic, my work blew up. I had to go get a job or that kind of thing, right? And it was humiliating and it was humbling. Interesting, they both start with hum. Anyway, and I said to my boyfriend, on the first day, as I headed to this job, and I'm thinking, how did my life get like this? How? I don't think I've stopped since the pandemic. But anyway, I said, I hope that when I take this leap off of this cliff, that I land in a pit full of brightly colored balls. So I was a nanny for a little boy for about 6 months. And I walk into his playroom. I look to my right, and what do I see? A ball pit filled with brightly colored balls. And I burst out laughing because I was like, wow, God, the universe has a great sense of humor. Sometimes, friends, it really literally winds up like that when you dare to take a leap. Run off that cliff and trust you have wings to fly, or that there is a super fun pit of bouncy, bright colored balls waiting for you to land on it, to launch you into that next great thing. Fly your freak flag all through June. Rainbow flags, whatever flag is your flag, fly it, you know? Yeah, so, all right, we're good. Yes, we are all about the horse. We're now going around the bagua. Here we go. So, I wanted to just mention, when we look at the Lopan, okay, which is the graph that shows how the stars sit in each of the quadrants of your bagua, all right? And a bagua is a wheel that sits on top of your floor plan that is arranged according to the facing direction of your front door. Okay. And this is, again, if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. I love answering your questions. I really do. All right. So in that Lopan, you have the one for your home is set from the time the roof is put in the house, and it changes with renovations and other major things that can happen to your home. But as far as the world Lopan goes, there are 3 stars. There's the one for period 9 that we just entered into. And then there is the annual flying star, which is very influential. And finally is the monthly flying star, okay? And as we do these things, as we analyze these energies and how they're dancing with each other, the ones I'm focused on for the point of these videos is the year and month, okay? It can get, with flying stars, it's an advanced system of Feng Shui. I still get confused 20 years later. I still go to references and resources in the books back there on my shelf because it is a complicated thing. And with the period 9 starting, a lot just changed, all right? But just so that you know, those are the 2 stars that we're really focused on this channel. So in the center this year, we have the 3 star, which is very weak right now and further weakened sitting in the earthy center, since the 3 star is a wood star. And so to mitigate that for this year, we want to bring in the element that is between wood and earth, which is fire, okay? But when the monthly stars fly in, sometimes that shifts things. The 1 star flies in for the month of June, and this is a watery star. It works together with the 3 star because water and wood certainly are compatible, but the 1 star with earth is challenged. And yet, I think this is a really nice direction, after all, for wealth in this month. Now, that being said, I would still use a happy hodi, a red happy hodi in the center of your home, sitting on 7 Chinese red envelopes to protect your relationships and your wealth. And then for the 1 star, you might add like 1 gold ingot sitting on something blue. And remember, when you're placing cures, to let them know, I am placing you for this intention, okay? And when you're cleaning the house, remember to remind your cures as you're dusting them off of their purpose. Energize them. Activate them. Okay. So, and again, go to the Kharma Khameleon website and read the blog for all the details of best colors, colors to avoid. All of that is in there to help you with your home design. And if you want to schedule a Zoom with me, you know I'm happy and ready to do that with you and go through your home together. All right. So we're now coming around from the center to the north, right? And the north this year is visited with the 8 star, which is an earth star that's kind of been demoted in period 9. So it still has a lot of potential for wealth, but it's kind of at a loss here. Now, this is an interesting setup for June. The 6 star is coming in, and the 6 star is weaker in period 9, but still holds potential for wealth and success. And you put the 2 together, and this is really great energy. The problem is the north doesn't fit these 2, metal and earth stars. So we're not even going to try to necessarily mitigate here. What we're going to wind up doing is focusing this month on earth and metal, and bringing in yellow, bringing in gray and black and metal elements. And for the year, 8 silk red or yellow flowers, as well as 8 Chinese coins on a red string. Okay. All right, so we're going to now come around to the Northeast. There's a lot of, you remember last month there were only 2 good directions. This month, it's from the center to the north and all the way around. So like half of the Bagua looks great. The other half, we just want to make dark and quiet. And that's really what we're doing, right? The best directions, no matter if you cure it or not, and my hummingbird's visiting me, whether you're visiting it or not, you want to activate those really positive directions and shut down the negative side. Try not to use the door. Try not to sleep there. Keep the blinds down. Keep the energy dark and stagnant. And that way, the energy doesn't get activated. So now we come around to the 6 star in the Northeast, which is visited by the 4 star. Now, the 4 star is a wood star in the Northeast, which is Earth. Doesn't really work well. But the 6 star, again, success and wealth, is going really well. So I think overall this direction is very positive for June. So continue to focus on mitigating the elements, the metal, and you've got metal and wood and earth happening here. And so for the year, I've been saying use blue along with metal, and I would just continue that. The same treatment that we're using for the year, I would apply for June as well. You could put 6 gold ingots on a round yellow or gold plate in a prominent location for success. Another thing, if it's a front door, is you can hang 6 Chinese coins on a black string. Yeah. And then like for decor, as far as blue, it's like throwing a pillow here or a piece of art, maybe statue, things like that. All right, so we're going to come around now to the 1 star, which is in the east, and that's water, right? And water in the east is great because the east is wood. This month we have the 1 star is now our future wealth star, right? And this is where we have our vision board. Or it can be a list of everything you want to manifest in 2024. This is visited by the 9 star, which is our new supreme wealth star. And together, the east is one of the best directions for June to activate for wealth and for success, for all good things. And oh, I'm sorry. It's not the 8 star here. It's not the 9 star. It's the 8 star. I'm looking at 8s and 9s and it's all scrambling up. Anyway, so this is where I would bring in 8 gold ingots or 8 Chinese coins, just a little happy pile of those, and really enjoy this. Now, the 8 star is weakened here because it's Earth sitting in the woodsy east with watery 1, right? So I think that by bringing in a little bit of metal here would really activate the wealth potential. So that's why I'm saying gold ingots or gold coins are a really great way to manifest wealth. We're going to come around to the southeast. Southeast is a little bit of a bear because of 2 things. 1, this is where the Grand Duke of 2024 sits because it's the domain of the dragon. You do not want to face southeast. You don't want to drive in the direction of the southeast. And it's really challenging if that's your facing front door or your bedroom. The 2 star in here suggests the potential. Now, you remember the 2 star in our new period 9 is going through the biggest transformation. And it certainly is still in the realm that it was in period 8 of being a sickness star. So it hasn't completely exited that. And it's like in reform, if you will. So this is an area to keep quiet. No construction, no banging, no fire. Keep it really chilled out. This month is visited by the 9 star. This is where the 9 star is. And so this actually becomes more favorable. It's just we use the space quietly, okay? And we're adding, for the most part, what we want to do here is throw in a little bit of violet, a little bit of purple to honor the 9 star, to give it something. And that can just be 9 purple silk flowers. It can be maybe an amethyst geode, or something purple that really feels like this is a way to honor that energy. I'm looking at my fluorite here that's sitting on my desk. Something purple can be really lovely to activate a star. All right, so we're going to come around now. The happy story is over. This is the South. It is in tatters this month. This is so bad. I don't know how I'm using my back door because it's in the South. But I do have a bell hanging on the door. That way, every time I open and close it, the bell rings, and that bell is breaking up negativity. I also have a big gong, a temple gong that I'm going to hang from the light fixture, which I have not used this year. Do not burn any fire at all, whether it's an outside light, whether it's tea lights, no fire at all. And God help you if this is where your hot water heater or your furnace sits. So the South is a real problem. It also is one of the 3 afflictions this year for the 3 killings. You want to check your doors and your security. You want to really watch your back. This is a horrible direction for a front door, a bedroom, or an office. Like, I would work in any other room, save a bathroom or laundry room. I would be anywhere else but in the South. It is that bad. This is where I could imagine, because the 5 star wreaks so much havoc, this really feels like a disaster in world affairs or a risk of great misfortune in our lives. Please be mindful of where you have stored things like, a chainsaw or your gun rack or anything else, even the knife set you might have sitting on the counter in your kitchen. Look at all of these things and recognize the risk and threat there. All right. One thing I would say might be a good thing to do is, if this is like your office, put a brass dragon-headed turtle always facing away from you, right? Never facing you. And if this is a bedroom, I would put a Wooloo health gourd, okay? All right, so we're coming around now to the Southwest where I'm sitting. This makes me so sad. The 9 star is here, and this is like super wealth and great good fortune. But this month of June brings the 7 star. This is a threat to whatever's in your wallet, my friends. So protect your wealth, protect your reputation, protect your position. And one of the things I would say is bring in blue. And I know it sounds weird because blue doesn't go in the Southwest, which is Earth. Blue doesn't jive with fiery 9 star. But you want to avoid fire at all cost here, because the fiery 9 star along with the 5 star is like a car accident, like an explosion. So we're definitely doing more with metal in this direction to weaken the 5-star. That is our sole focus in the Southwest for June. Weaken the 5-star. All right, so we're now coming around to the West. Another wretched spot. This is where the 5-star is. So the bad setup is you've got the Southwest is visiting 5-star and the West is the annual 5-star. And in this situation, the 3-star has flown in just to kind of throw kind of like the bitch into the scenario, right? This is cranky pants. This is relationships blowing up. This is fights. This is you just got stabbed in the back. This is awful. And gossip and all of it. It's not a happy place. I would not have a Western facing front door, bedroom, office. Horrible, horrible for 2024 and especially this month. So we come around now, we're wrapping up, and thank you for staying with me. The 4-star is in the Northwest, and this is another of the 3 afflictions because the Northwest sits opposite to the Southeast. So this is where the Shui Po sits, the dog, which is the enemy of the dragon. And so it's a lineup where your front door might be Northwest and your back door is Southeast. You want to really make sure you've got a crystal ball breaking that up. Maybe have a runner rug, have artwork with reflective glass that breaks that chi down. You don't want these energies activated. The Northwest is visited by the 2-star in June, creating a dangerous situation for health and relationships specific to mother-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, romantic relationships. Just be really mindful here, friends. So yeah, one of the things you can do is put a Chinese coin with the 4 characters facing up with a rose quartz crystal sitting on top to protect your relationships. And again, if you go to the Kharma Khameleon blog, you'll see the breakdown of all the recommended colors to avoid and also the cures to put in place. The best directions, highlighting it now: north, northeast, center, east, and southeast. Did I get them all? Yes. Then for caution, for sure, Northwest, where the Shui Po is, the South, where the 3 Killings is, the Southeast, where the Grand Duke is, and the West. On the world stage in the month of June draws our attention straight up along the western side of Africa, the western half of Africa, straight up. Portugal, Spain, France, a lot of Western Europe, up into the Great Britain, Wales, Ireland, England. All of that we really want to keep an eye on for June as there's going to be events likely going on in that direction because it's where the horse sits on the world map. And when we think of that, we want to go back to what is happening, right? This is positive energy here. What is going on? Is there innovation that's leading to perhaps the end of wars or conflict? Or maybe we're just seeing that warrior riding in with his sword raised to bring positive change for the sake of freedom, right? All the things we wrap around the word freedom. That, my friends, is our June. And until next time, be well.